I'm gonna stop here, check out this stream across the road, make sure I can drive across it. I uh, I see that little waterfall over here. I'm gonna look to see if I can spot any gold flakes in the water. I think I'm gonna get my pan. I'm gonna go ahead and get a pan, gold pan, and shovel a little bit of the gravel off the bottom here and pan it, see if there's any gold flakes here, just out of my curiosity. I'm not allowed to pan here. Nobody's allowed to pan here, unless maybe the person that has a lease can. But I don't think they'd be able to along the road like this. But I just curiosity want to see if there's any flakes right there. Well, I didn't see anything. No flakes of gold. So I'm just gonna go on and continue on our little journey back to the gold panning area. I keep watching the mountainside and down into the valley for moose and bear. Could see one at any time. Keep my eyes open.
came out to do a little gold panning. State of Alaska, Petersville recreational mining area. So I parked up here. It's quite overcast, it's drizzling. I'm in the mountains, a lot of clouds, or fog, or we're in a cloud. So I'm going down to the creek here. I would have to carry my equipment down in a little bit. I got a sluice box and a shovel and a couple of pans, or a pan classifier. And I'll do a little bit, see if I can find anything here. I've dug here before. It's a hard place to dig because of all the rocks. Best area would be where the water slowed down. So either up under the bridge there, or down at the end of these rapids, which I think that's where I'm going to go. Try and watch my footing here. I'm going to look and see if I need to put my chest waders on, or if I can just wear these boots. What you want to see when you're looking for gold is quartz, like these white rocks here, because usually, or all the time that I know of, it's located in the quartz, veins of quartz in the bedrock. And then the weathering erodes it down, and as the water flows through an area and breaks off the rocks, then the quartz gets broke up and the gold deposits are released. By the time it gets down a ways, rolling down these creeks, usually all you'll find is little pieces, little flakes of gold, because where it's probably cutting through is quite a ways upstream, maybe even a mile upstream or more. And then when you get your heavy rains and snow melt, that's when stuff gets water strong enough to wash the heavier gold downstream. So you like to find the flat area. Yeah, for me to get in here and dig, this is at least 2 feet deep. I'm going to have to take off these short below the knee boots, put on my chest waders. That's the area I'd like to try and look. Right where it comes over a big rock or a waterfall-like area. And then the heavier stuff will drop out right away, or first anyhow. Plus I gotta find a spot with pretty good flow to set my sluice box up so it'll wash out the sand and smaller rocks and stuff that isn't gold out of what there is. So I have to have a little bit of pretty good current. This is too slow here. I might have to get out into the stream more, but it can't be too deep either, so I have to find a shallow spot or put it up on some rocks or something. See, here's a example of the rock where you have your regular rock, and then here's a layer of quartz. And this section broke off someplace. Usually there's big veins of quartz, not just a little half-inch piece like that, slab like that. But yeah, that's what I like to see, is to see some quartz rocks. Like this. If you got quartz, then you have a chance of having gold. If you don't find any quartz, probably just wasting your time. It's a nice looking one. And how you can tell it's traveled down the stream is the rounded edges. The water tumbling down through all the other rocks rounds all the corners, makes it smooth, compared to where this piece is just broke off. And has jagged edges, just broke off right there. Alright, well, I'm going to try and set up, find a spot here, just get changed and set up. I like the looks of that rock right there, the layers in it up out of the water. Well, it's the same thing here. These have been turned almost 90 degrees, you know, perpendicular to the towards the center of the earth. All that has been turned up. We're pretty close to the Denali National Park, probably 2 miles from it. I can only drive about another 200 yards up the road. I just finished going up there, and then there's a creek that you have to drive through. And you got to have a 4-wheel drive with some clearance to be able to get through these roads. And that's just the first one. And there's, to get to the park, you probably have to ford about 6 streams, something like that. But it's only a couple miles. And I rode up there once with somebody else, and it was beautiful. I might try and do that again sometime, try and get video. Alright, that's all.
Hi, this is Old Man in the Camera. So at the end of the first part of this video, I stopped recording when I got to the bridge area where they were doing construction. They were there working when I was there, but it was raining and the water was pretty high. I couldn't, it was too deep to put a sluice box in, so I just took a pan, and it was still raining. I took a pan and looked a little bit along the bank. I found a few flakes of gold. I figured I'd come back when the conditions were better and try again. So it was a while later, almost a year later. The bridge was finished. They were all done with construction and had pulled out, and so that was nice. And I set up my sluice box, and I didn't video the mining part. It was hard for me walking on the rocks and carrying equipment, and my legs aren't in the greatest shape, and so I didn't try. I was by myself. So I got ended up getting a couple hundred, about 200 little flakes of gold, which isn't too bad. You really don't make money recreational panning. It's more for having the opportunity for anybody to go out in the wilderness or go out in a stream and actually find gold yourself. Like it's part of the way history is in parts of the world where people flow in to try and find gold and find their jackpot, but you can go in just for a day and just try and get some. So what's neat about it, there's restrictions for the recreational areas so that it isn't tore up so other people can't go try their luck and have their opportunity for the same thing. They restrict dredge to sometimes no dredge, and then there might be a small size you can use, and they'll restrict the sluice boxes to size, and sometimes no sluice box depending on where you're at, but you can always use a pan. And in Tennessee, all I used was a similar sluice box to what I have now and pan, and I got a whole lot more gold than what I got here in Alaska in the same amount of time. And the stream was littered with quartz rocks. There's probably more than 10 times as many quartz rocks as what I showed in this video. There's probably other streams in Alaska that's loaded with quartz rocks too. I also did a little mining near Dahlonega, Georgia. There's a big mine in Dahlonega. In that mine, you can go on a tour and go inside the mine, and in there you can see big veins of quartz. And it is a really nice tour. I'd recommend it to anybody. So that's what I have for now, and but I thank you all for watching. That's all.